Lila's here. It is time for another spin of the Big Wheel of Earth to see what childbirth ed topic we're going to talk about today. Let's do it. Ooh, I like it. Talking about 511. Now, 511 is not a phone number that you're going to dial, like 411 for information or anything like that, or 911. No. 511 is what a lot of doctors, your OB, your midwife will say is the time that you should come into the hospital. But what the heck does it mean? Let's break down these numbers. So 5 is the frequency of the contractions. So if you need a little refresher on frequency and duration in depth, check out this video on timing contractions after this one. But let's talk about it. What this means is your frequency of your contractions are 5 minutes apart. So the contractions are coming every 5 minutes. So a contraction starts, it goes, it stops, and it starts again. And that time from a start to a start is 5 minutes. Contractions are 5 minutes apart. That's what that means. Here is something that I think people get confused on, or it's just a common misconception, especially if you're using a contraction timer app. And the app is so exact, right? Because you press it when it starts, you press it when it finishes. Press, 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 press. You're not just kind of watching secondhand on a clock. So it's really exact. So what a lot of people see is they'll see a contraction that's like 5.5 minutes apart, then one that's 6 minutes apart, then one that's 4 and 45 seconds apart, then one that's 5, 10 and apart. Okay, they're not exactly 5 minutes apart, but wouldn't you say they're about 5 minutes apart? Yes. So that about 5 minutes apart is really what you're looking for, not to the very second, because truthfully, the person that is experiencing labor, they might not say exactly when the contraction starts or exactly when the contraction ends, okay? So there's a little give in those numbers. So this 5 means about 5 minutes apart. Now, if they were like 8 minutes apart, then 9, then 12, then 10, that is not 5 minutes apart. Or on the other side, if they're like 3 minutes apart, and then 3.5, and then 2, no, not 5 minutes apart. If they are less than that, then your provider wants you to come in. Okay, so 511. First, the 5 is the frequency of your contractions. The second one is for the duration of the contraction. So that means from the start of the contraction to the stop. So, I'm feeling a contraction, it's going, that whole thing goes click, 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 and it's totally over, and it's about a minute. Again, this is an approximate. If you have a contraction that's like 70 seconds, and then one that's 55 seconds, and then one that's 59 seconds, and that's about a minute apart. So that is your second one, that the whole contraction lasts for a minute, about. So they're coming every 5 minutes. When they do come, they're lasting a minute long. And this third number is the one that everyone forgets, but you won't. And that is that pattern has stayed that way for an entire hour. So there has been a full hour that pretty much we've stayed in that pattern. And what I mean pretty much is there might be one contraction that like your partner goes into the bathroom or you go into the bathroom and they don't time, so you don't have exactly that, but it's about 511. So the 511 is for 5 minutes apart contractions that last a minute long, and that pattern has gone on for an entire hour. Now this is the pattern that a lot of doctors and midwives, like I said before, tell you it's an appropriate time to either call the office and let them know that you're in labor, that you want to come in, or to head in. Now, this number isn't set in stone. Even if your provider says, wait for 511, at any time you can call them and give them a heads up on other things that are going on. Because say if your water breaks, you feel shaky, you feel like pressure, like you want to push, there are many factors that might send you into the hospital faster. So make sure that you keep in contact and let your providers know what's going on. Also, if you are using a doula, they likely will want a heads up before this 511. That is, I would say, 100% your doula will want to know before you get to a 511, at least with some kind of heads up. And you will likely want a doula with you before that time. Not always, but often. So it is a good thing to ask. If you're like, I don't know what my provider wants. Perfect question to ask during one of your appointments with your providers. When would you like me to head into the hospital? Or if you are wanting to avoid intervention or wanting to, labor at home for a long time, this might not be the right time to go in for you. And again, it's something to discuss with your doctor or your midwife so they know exactly when you would like to get there and you guys are on the same page with that. So that is the breakdown of the 511. I hope that it made sense. Let me know down below if you have any comments, and please like the video so that other people looking for this type of information can find it in the YouTube search. And also, I'd love to have you as a subscriber. If you're someone who is pregnant and these topics are interesting to you, or you're someone who works with pregnant families and these topics are interesting to you, hit the subscribe button and the notification bell and you'll know next time we spin the wheel. Talk to you later, guys. See ya.